Good morning, everybody, and welcome to what will be the last time that I record yoga with Leah. I just want to take a moment before we get started to say thank you to all of you who in the last year have come to yoga, tuned into Channel 77 for classes, or personally reached out to me to say how meaningful these classes have been for you. I really appreciate it, and it means so much to me that this practice has impacted you and that so many of you choose to follow along. So I never could have imagined this class would have been so popular. When I first approached Missy, I was planning to teach one single Watermark University class. And Missy said, why don't you do a little bit more than that? And I never would have known the response would be so positive from you all. So thank you. And from the bottom of my heart, I truly will miss working here, both in the restaurants and teaching yoga. And I wish you all nothing but the best. I will be out in Tucson doing yoga full time. So if you see my name somewhere or you hear someone talk about yoga, send them my way. But thank you so much, truly, to all of you. It has been such a joy to share this practice with you. With that, go ahead and find your way to your yoga spot in your apartment. As you know, you'll want a sturdy chair. Make sure your feet can reach the ground, or that you bring something underneath your feet so the ground reaches you. A footstool or a thick book can do just fine. Make sure you've got a little space to move around, free from distractions as well. Then just come a little bit away from the back of the chair. Take your feet comfortably under your knees, rest your hands, and close your eyes. Begin by simply taking a moment to shift your focus internally. Really allowing yourself to come into your practice and be here for the next hour. Sometimes thoughts come up that can be distracting. Just let them pass on by and focus back on your body and your breath. You may choose to simply observe your breath at its natural pace. If it feels okay, you might encourage your breath a little deeper, filling your low belly, expanding out as you breathe in. As you exhale, pressing out every last bit of air. As we take different movements today, walk the line between ease and effort. Of course, challenging yourself, pushing through moments, but also listening to your body. And your breath can be a great meter for when your body might be working just a little too hard. Relax your face, your jaw, the space behind your eyes, and allow your shoulders to get a little heavier. Feel the chair beneath you and ground under your feet supporting you. Lift your chest, extend your spine, step a little taller, open your eyes. Remember, during class today, I will offer lots of different variations to movements. Some you might find more challenging than others. You're always welcome to choose any step along the path. Something that speaks to you today might not tomorrow, and something that was easy yesterday could be hard today. Drop arms down by sides, press your feet down lightly, and lift your chest. Take a full breath in and exhale out. On your next inhale, sweep arms up, reach up. Extend up through fingertips and grow tall. Draw waistline back to spine. Nice. Inhale once more. And exhale, arms down. Inhale, sweep up, reach up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And one more time, inhale up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Full breath in and out. Hands to knees for seated cat and cow. Lift your chest, lean forward, shoulders, elbows squeeze together on your spine. Then round your spine as you lean back, tuck chin to the chest. Continue to move through at your own pace, working to explore your full range of motion here. So if the chair stops you before you're done leaning back, slide a little farther forward in your seat, focusing on arching, then rounding the spine, and maybe you add in other movements. Could be a little side to side. You could stay longer in cat and cow. Just whatever feels good to you. Finish your next movement. Come up through a tall neutral spine. Feet underneath knees. Really plant down. Press to the ground. Take an inhale. Lift your chest. Your exhale, hinge slightly forward. So initiating this movement from the hip crease. We're aiming for shoulders over knees. If you have stretch to spare, perhaps you walk your hands down your legs, maybe even all the way to the ground. You have two options with your head and neck. You can extend kind of forward and out, keeping a long line all the way through your spine. It might feel okay for you to allow your neck to be more relaxed and tuck your forehead towards your legs. Walk your hands back up your legs to bring yourself upright. Full breath in. Exhale out. One more time, inhale and exhale. Bring palms together at heart center. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palms and lightly press forward, just to your tolerance level for fingers and wrists. If this feels okay, keep the interlace of your hands as you lift arms up overhead. Perhaps feeling more stretch in shoulders and chest. Allow shoulders to drop down and back. Squeeze biceps by ears and press up through heels of hands. Take one more breath in. On your exhale, release arms down. Roll those shoulders out a few times. Hands to knees, inhale, tall spine. Exhale out. Take your arms up overhead. On your exhale, cactus your arms. Squeeze shoulders in on your spine. Press hands back in line over elbows and peel your chest forward. Imagine an invisible wall pressing your elbows and hands back. Close your elbows off. So elbows may touch or they might not. If they don't touch, just bring as close together as you can. If it's possible for you, elbows, forearms, and palms squeeze in together. Maybe you stay here, or maybe lift your elbows up slightly. And then open up, expanding out, cactus your arms. Closing off, either squeezing to or towards each other, perhaps lift the elbows. Open up, and arms out to shoulder height. Take a big breath in. Exhale out. Roll the shoulders out just a few times. Take your right hand to your hip. Send your left arm up. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, tilt over to the side. Seated crescent. Use the support from this bottom arm to keep the bottom side of your waist long. Move top shoulder back and extend out through fingertips. Inhale up through center. Left hand down. Right arm up, get tall. And then tilt over to the side. Again, bottom arm provides support. Top shoulder moves back. Extend out through fingertips. Come up through center and release down. Go ahead and take your feet out, just a comfortable distance, heel toe out, ending with toes pointing out to the side a little bit, knees stack over ankles. Press your feet down. Right hand down, left arm up. This time, focus on firmly pressing through left hip and left foot as you tilt over. Tilting over to the side, you'll notice that left side wants to get light, so don't allow it to. Send your knees out and squeeze glutes behind you. Beautifully done. Come up through center and switch sides. Left hand down, right arm up. Get tall. We're focusing on right hip down, right heel down as you tilt over. Firmly pressing through the right side, keeping the weight even across both sides of your seat. And then come up through center Release on down. Either stay here for just a moment or palms to heart center, gently hinge forward. Keep pressing through your feet, especially the outer edges. Knees go wide, more in line over pinky toes. Come back upright and walk your feet back into hip distance apart. Full breath in. Long breath out. One more time, inhale and exhale. Take your right arm, sweep it up by your ear. Take your left hand across for your right knee. Start to turn your gaze to the right and turn your shoulders to the right. Press firmly through both feet. You might stay here or send your right hand back to the back wall. Shoulder squeezes together on your spine. You can also use the back of your chair for support for your right hand and arm. Lift your chest, get tall through your spine, and with each exhale, releasing tension, easing into the twist. On your next breath out, gently untwist and come back to neutral. Reset here. Make sure the weight feels even across both sides of your seat, feet underneath knees. Left arm goes up. Right hand across for your left leg. This just provides support and a little bit of traction in the twist. Then grow tall. Turn your gaze to the left. Start to open your shoulders to the left. Press your knees out a little bit wider. Then open your left arm back if you would like. You can also keep reaching up. For some, the arm back just represents a little bit too much pressure on the shoulder. Lift your chest, getting taller with your inhale, easing into the twist with your exhale. Next time you breathe out, gently untwist, release back to neutral. Full breath in, long breath out. Okay, same thing again, or bring feet in just a little bit closer. You can either practice the exact same way or lift up to the ball of your right foot so that knee will be a little bit higher than left. Left hand across. Take right arm up by your ear, inhale. Exhale, opening into the twist. You can keep arm up or send hand back. Then press your leg up into your hand if you'd like. That right leg lifting up. Work to keep your knee pointing forward. Your knee might want to twist to the side as well. Then untwist. If your knee is up, lift it higher. And if your knee is not lifted, go ahead and draw your knee up to your chest. Squeeze in. Drop shoulders down and back and get taller. Maybe a little movement with the foot. Then roll out all the way down. Okay, you can take the sequence the same way again with both feet firmly planted, or lift up to the ball of your left foot to start. So this knee is a little bit higher to begin with. Right hand across, left arm up. And exhale into the twist. You can keep fingertips up or start to send your arm back. And then press your leg up into your hand, lifting up. Full breath in. Exhale, untwist. Maybe lift the knee a little higher. Or if your foot stayed down, lift your knee up now. Squeeze it into your chest. Add a little movement with the foot. Roll out the ankle on the way back down. Sit up tall. Find your neutral position. Full inhale. And exhale. Forward fold. Lift your chest. Get tall. Hinge forward. Maybe walking hands down your legs. Maybe tucking forehead towards your shins. Full breath in. Long breath out. Inhale. And exhale. As you're ready, no rush. Begin to make your way back upright. Rolling yourself up. Stack shoulders over hips. Full breath in. Exhale out. One more time, inhale and exhale. We're going to take a seated version of Warrior 2. Begin with both feet together or about as close together as you can start with. Now, for this version, you'll keep one leg really firm and still, and you'll shift with the opposite leg. So we're going to begin with the right leg being firm. So press your right leg down where it is now. Make your leg engage. You can probably even feel it in your thigh. And then keep that leg really strong, and your left leg just kind of shuffles in a semicircle until you've opened up to something that feels pretty comfortable. Then adjust the weight so it feels even on both sides of your seat. Press both feet down, lift your chest, and turn your shoulders to the front. You'll feel this stretch predominantly in the inside of the left leg. Sit up nice and tall. If you'd like, you can add arms out. The arms out will really show you how much you got your shoulders square to the front. The fingertips don't lie. They point in the direction your shoulders go. Release your arms down. Gently untwist your torso. And then bring that foot back in. The stretch here really comes from pressing down to the ground with your feet. That creates the strength in the legs, then creating the support for the twist and the stretch. So start with feet pretty close together again, all the way together if you can manage it. This time our left leg stays firmly planted. Little semicircle, you shuffle, heel toe your right foot out to the side just as wide as feels comfortable for you. Once you get there, kind of shift the weight side to side in your seat so you can feel both hip bones touching down. Then lift your chest, press down through your feet, strong legs, turn your shoulders back to the front. You'll feel this predominantly in the right inner thigh. Squeeze your glutes behind you, beautiful. If you'd like, arms out. Drop the shoulders down and back and extend through your fingertips. Full breath in. Exhale. One more inhale. And release out. Untwist. And then bring that leg back in. Closing off. Full breath in. Long breath out. We'll take a seated warrior one version. And then we'll move on to a few standing poses. For our first side, you're going to turn in your seat to the right. So you're sitting completely sideways. Then you're going to shift towards the front edge of the seat so that your left leg is free and your right thigh feels supported by the seat. For more support, slide backwards so that almost your entire thigh is touching down to the chair. Now what you're going to do, lean to the right, hold on to the chair if you like. Left leg starts to make its way back. You could end up maybe here. You might end up here, and you can see my left foot is much closer to the camera. It's what would be out to the side on my own body here in this version. Bending the knee is totally fine, and you can lift the heel up or reach heel more down towards the mat. There's benefit and drawback to both. It just depends on what you like. Then turn to face the side. You're working to square your shoulders and stack shoulders over hips. Draw belly button to spine. If you would like, you can send your left arm up. Take a full inhale here. Exhale. One more time, big breath in. And exhale your arm out. Lean towards the back of the chair so you can bring your left leg forward again. And then to switch sides, we shuffle around, a little turntable, all the way to the left. Again, you want to slide towards the edge of the seat so that your right leg is essentially free and your left thigh is being supported. You're welcome to slide back as I'm demonstrating here. So you'll see the edge of the seat is basically hitting my knee crease. And I'm not very tall. I don't have a particularly long leg. But the same thing, you kind of slide back so more of your thigh is on the chair. Lean to the left a little bit. You're welcome to grab onto the back of your seat for support. And then your right leg starts to walk back. Heel could be lifted. You could take your foot, what would be out to your right side a little bit if that's more comfortable. And perhaps even take the heel down. You can see here my leg is almost out directly in line with my hip. So there's lots of variation here. Squeeze into the midline, tuck your tailbone forward, maybe right arm up. Get up nice and tall, wrist over shoulder, over hip, take an inhale. And exhale down, lean to the side so you can bring the foot forward again. And then turn back to the front. We will move on to a few standing poses at this time. Warrior one and warrior two. We did warrior two first. Warrior one was when we turned to the side. We'll take those standing first. So you already know your seated option if you prefer to stay in your chair. We will move on to a few balancing poses as well afterwards. You can follow along with the arm movements of the balancing poses. You can follow along with the forward folds, and I'll give options that work for you along the way. We'll start with Warrior 2. So if you would like Warrior 2, that's when we started with our legs together and walked the leg out to each side, turned the torso forward. If you're standing up, go ahead and come behind your seat. You'll start standing just behind your chair. Walk your feet out as wide as feels comfortable for you. You want to go with a stance that's a little bit challenging, but not so wide that your feet slide away from each other. Disclaimer, if you are wearing socks, this can be where your socks start to work against you, so just be cautious with that. Then lift your chest, take your right toes, turn them out to the side. Bend your right knee, reaching in line over your ankle. Nice, widen your front knee, scoop your tail forward and anchor through your back foot. Stack shoulders over hips. Maybe arms out. Take a full breath in. Exhale out. Straighten your right leg, take hands for support. Right toes in, left toes out. Full breath in, bend your knee, reaching knee in line over ankle. Take knee a little wider, scoop tail forward, stack shoulders over hips, maybe arms out. Bend and widen front knee, anchor through your back foot, the right foot. Beautiful, straighten your front leg, left toes in, heel toe those feet in just a little bit closer. Hip distance, maybe a little wider. I'm going for about as wide as my chair legs. And what you're going to do, if you're in the seat, take your feet about this same distance wide and simply fold forward. If you're standing up, walk your feet back away from the chair, hinge from the hip crease as you go, lowering your torso down. Press the hips back. I'll turn to the side for a better visual. You're welcome to stop anywhere along the way. Thinking long spine, and if you'd like, you can even rest your arms on the chair and extend your arms out over well. This provides a little bit of extra lengthening in the spine, a little bit of extra stretch for the shoulders, allowing chest to drop down. As you come up, use your hands to support you. Walk your feet forward, pressing hips towards the chair as you roll upright. Take an inhale. Exhale. One more time, big breath in and out. Warrior 1, if you're seated, this is where you turn all the way to the side and then bring your left leg around to the back. If you're standing, right foot close to the chair, bend your knee, left foot way back. Stack knee over ankle, square hips forward, anchor through back foot, draw waistline to spine. Maybe one or both arms reach up. In Warrior 1, the work is in squaring hips to the chair. So left hip moves forward, right hip moves back. You can anchor through your heel or lift it up. Maybe add some bend in the knee if heel is lifted. Arms down. Switch sides. Bring your left foot in, right foot back, and switch. Left foot forward. Bend your knee. Step your right foot way back. About the longest stance you feel comfortable in. Heel could anchor down or lift up. If it's lifted, I suggest a little bend in the knee. Square hips to the chair. Maybe one or both arms up. Draw waistline to spine. Drop shoulders away from ears. Nice and tall inhale. Exhale. Right foot forward. Left foot back. Pedal your feet out a few times. Forward fold here. Make a little bit of space between you and the chair. Separate your feet as wide as is comfortable so that you feel supported on both feet. And then bend your knees. This time begin to walk your hands down the chair. Use it like a ladder. Stop anywhere you like along the way, perhaps taking hands to the ground. Bending your knees is encouraged here, especially enough bend in the knees that your torso and thighs can firmly connect. Be careful with your head as you bring yourself upright, rolling up. Full breath in. On your exhale, bring your feet back in together. Step back to behind the chair. We'll start with our balancing poses, and we'll start quite simple, just working to shift the weight to different parts of the feet. So even if you feel a little bit of trepidation about balancing, I definitely encourage you to try. Take your feet just hip distance apart and begin with hands on the chair. We'll start from the ground up. So feel the ground beneath your feet and take a moment to shift back to your heels and then shift forward into balls of feet, maybe even shifting weight into your toes, really pressing toes down. And then come back. Try to find what feels like balance between heels, balls, toes, inner and outer edge. Take a slight bend in your knees. Your legs do not have to be together, but just kind of squeeze inner thighs towards each other and draw belly button to spine, engaging your core. Lift your chest. Allow shoulders to relax. Grow a little taller through the crown of your head. Maybe close your eyes. You can continue to use hands on the chair for support, or maybe take one or both hands away. Trusting your feet, feeling the support from your legs, your lower body, your core. Go ahead, open your eyes, hands back to the seat. Shift the weight into your right foot and slide your left tippy toes back. You're welcome to keep your toe touching down the whole time. Hinge from the hip crease. Kind of kick your hips away from the chair as you lower your torso. And you might find that your back foot just spontaneously gets light and lifts up even all by itself. Think long, out through crown of head, back through your lifted leg. Allow toes to come back down, torso upright, and switch sides. Step your left foot back underneath your hip. Take a moment, shift the weight side to side, landing over the left foot. Slide your right toes back. Now these toes can stay down, or as you start to hinge forward, you might find that all by itself, your foot starts to get light and lift up. Long line from crown of head all the way through your lifted leg. Then lowering back down. Torso comes up. Step underneath your hip. Shift side to side. One more time, warrior three. Right foot forward. Left toe slide back. Little bend in the knee if you like. Hinging from the hip crease. Maybe left foot lifts up behind you. If you feel really stable here and you want more of a balanced challenge, keep your torso as it is and allow toes to touch down and lift up. And then one more time, touch down and lift up. Now with your torso hinging and step underneath, shift side to side. Shift into the left foot, right toes back. Last time, warrior three, hinge forward. Maybe tippy toes stay down or your back foot lifts. And then if you feel really stable here and you'd like more of a challenge, maybe toe down and up. And again, down and up. And then hinge upright. And step down, shift side to side. Full breath in. Long breath out. Tree pose. I'm going to stand just to the side of my chair so that it's easier for you to see me, but you're of course welcome to stand behind so you can get more support from your hands. Shift the weight to your right leg. Left foot, you've got tons of options, and you can practice this one seated as well and get the leg shape with the left foot. So you can keep your heel on or close to the ground. You can also rest your heel against your ankle and kind of be on the ball of your left foot. You might take tippy toe down or lift up to your calf. If it feels comfortable, you can lift your foot all the way up above your knee. You want to avoid pressing directly on your knee joint. Press foot and leg in together. Drop your shoulders. You're welcome to use one or both hands for support, or maybe take hands up off the chair. A great way to go is to lift one finger at a time, maybe coming down to 3 fingertips per hand, maybe 2, maybe just 1 fingertip from each hand, and then maybe just 1 fingertip. Maybe over time that 1 fingertip gets lighter and lighter, and just for a moment you lift up. And then step back down and shift side to side. Shift the weight all the way to the left and pick up your right foot for tree pose. So you could be here, maybe heel just an inch off the ground. Maybe you come all the way to the ball of foot or tippy toe. You can press onto your calf, foot below your knee, or perhaps use your hand to help you place your foot up above your knee. Toes point down, knee points out to the side. Make your standing leg strong. And for most people, that means a slight bend in the knee, allowing the upper thigh to be engaged as well. Press foot and leg together. Maybe lifting up just 1 fingertip at a time. Maybe coming up to 1 fingertip per hand. Maybe just 1 hand. Maybe for a moment you lift up and then release down. Pedal your feet out. Shift side to side. For our last kind of balancing standing pose, start behind your chair and then come around to the right side of the chair. Like so. Take your right hand to your hip. Turn your left foot about 45 degrees in. So stand near your chair and your foot should kind of point at the angle across the seat. Little bend in the knee. Lean towards the chair as you lower your torso. And maybe the right leg lifts out to the side. Balance here can be tricky, so use the chair for support. If you would like, hand can come down to the seat. This is our version of half moon pose. Bend your knee, take your foot back down, and come upright. We'll try on the other side. Walk around. So starting with hand on the back of the chair, and remember, depending on your chair, different parts of it might be more or less supportive, so definitely keep that in your brain as a factor. For my chair, the back is pretty supportive and won't topple over, but yours might be different. Turn your foot to the angle in, so it's pointing kind of across the angle of the chair, and then you're going to bend your knee a little bit. This is going to allow you to tilt your body over to the right. As you put weight in your right foot, the left foot might lift out behind you. You might just get up this high or foot down like so. Maybe hand to the seat, and that foot lifts up a little higher, half moon pose. Bend in the standing leg, totally good here. Release back down, come upright. Big breath in. Exhale out. Walk behind the chair. One more standing fold here. You can take your feet as narrow or as wide as you prefer. Maybe you like this walk back so you can keep a lot of space for your torso. Maybe you like to fold all the way forward. Going back to that pose that really felt good to you, that really worked for you. Go ahead and bring yourself upright gently. And come back around to the seat. Just touching on that moment of doing the pose that felt really good to you. Sometimes in yoga, we get this thinking of like the poses that we would naturally avoid or are naturally challenging to us, that's an area for improvement that we need to work on more. But in life, often we really find the opposite is true. Like when you were looking for a potential career, you didn't think, what am I worst at? Let me improve a ton at that so I can do it full time. And most people who are super successful in their lives, they do something that plays into their natural strengths. So while it's good to explore moments in your practice or movements that might feel super challenging to you or just don't naturally appeal, by the same token, it's just as important to lean into those movements that do feel really good, that give you that sense of relief or ease, and really practice those whenever it feels good to you. Those are always going to come home to you in a really positive way. All right, so back to the seat. A few seated stretches here to kind of start winding down and taking us out. Start with legs nice and close together, about as close together as they can go. And then take your right leg up and over your left. Here you're aiming for knees as close together as they can get, shins as close together as they can get. Now your knees and your shins might get closer or not as close together as mine, and that's totally fine. It's just about doing what's right for your body. You might find you experience a little bit of pain in the bottom knee. What you want to do is adjust that bottom foot side to side until that alleviates. Then squeeze everything in together, lift up. If you'd like, add the arms. Right elbow, under left. So make this big X shape first, then give yourself a hug. Notice that my left arm is essentially all the way over my right. They're not uncrossed. Then you could stay here or backs of hands together or maybe palms together. From wherever you're at, drop your shoulders down on your spine, lift your chest, lift your elbows. Beautiful. Unwrap your arms, unwrap your legs, and reset in the center. This time, left leg is going to go up and over your right. Knees as close together as they can go. Shins as close together as they can go. And then again, if you feel any pain in this bottom knee, adjust your right foot on the floor until that alleviates. Pain is not our friend. We don't want to feel pain in poses. Perhaps stretch or discomfort, but knee pain is totally different. So you want to alleviate that pain and then squeeze in together. Lift your chest, allow shoulders to drop down and back, and if you'd like, you can add the arms. Left arm is under, so big X, and give yourself a hug. Allow shoulders to drop down and back, lift your elbows if you'd like. Backs of hands together, palms together for the double wrap. Lift the chest, maybe elbows up even higher. Then unwrap arms, unwrap legs. Pedal your feet out a few times. Start with feet hip distance apart. Send your right leg forward, flex your foot. Bend your knee, squeeze your knee up and into your chest. And just as much as you lift your knee, lift your chest towards your leg. Drop your shoulders and extend your spine. Flex your foot, ankle strong, and take ankle over knee to make a figure four shape. You could stay here or support underneath your knee with one or both hands and just allow gravity to do its thing, drawing your knee down. Don't press your knee with your hand or use strength to move your knee down. Just kind of go to the level that feels natural. Again, knee pain here is not the goal, though you may certainly feel a stretch in the outside of your hip. If you feel knee pain, step one, come up a little bit. Step two, go back to the ankle. Make sure you are flexing your foot. Big toe comes up and back towards your knee. This should help alleviate that, and then you can kind of lightly allow the knee to go back down. Everything feels great and you'd like more stretch. Hinge forward, shoulders in line over knees. Back upright, knee into your chest, squeeze in. Roll your ankle out on the way down. Reset here in neutral, then switch sides, left foot forward. Squeeze up and in, and as much as you lift your knee, lift your chest towards your leg as well. This will keep shoulders stacking over hips. Flex your foot, ankle strong, and then ankle over knee. So start checking in with that ankle and foot right away, especially if you experience any knee pain on the first side. Maybe supporting with your hand, maybe allowing gravity to do its thing, just drawing your knee down. Press through your right foot. Sit up tall, hinge forward. Shoulders over knees, send your hips back. Bring yourself upright. Hug knee into chest. Roll your foot out on the way back down. Full breath in. Exhale out. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Take your feet in just a little bit closer to you. Lift your heels up high, press down through toes. If it feels okay for you, 1 foot at a time, you might come up to your tippy toe and kind of roll over. I call this the toe cruncher. Again, if this causes you foot pain, don't do it. But if it feels good to you, it feels good to me. So it might feel good for some people. I would just do that with 1 foot at a time. Otherwise, keep the heels lifting as long as you can tolerate. Roll back over that toe cruncher, then release the heels down. Whew. Okay, take your feet out pretty far away from you. Oh, you can't see my feet. Take your feet out pretty far away from you, almost enough to straighten your legs. And then what you want to do is reach the bottoms of your feet down towards the ground. This will straighten your legs, and if your foot just easily reached the ground, take your heels a little farther. You should feel this predominantly right in the fronts of your ankles, kind of over the tops of your feet. Draw those toes up and back, flex your feet, press the heels away. Nice, and then point back down, reaching. You can kind of flare the toes out. Nice job. Go ahead and bring those feet back in underneath your knees. Take a full breath in. Exhale out. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Feet and knees about as close together as you can manage. You might keep hands on legs and just lean forward a little bit. If it's comfortable for you, cross your forearms and rest your forearms on your legs. Let your right arm escape out to the side, right out of shoulder height, and then press down for your left forearm. Start to lift from the back of your right hand, opening up into a twist. Draw shoulders together on your spine, expand across your chest. Release back down, and close your right arm off. Left arm escapes, right about at shoulder height to begin. Press down for your right forearm. Lift from the back of your hand, lift your chest. And release on down. Close off. One more time, same thing. Right arm out to the side. Press your left arm down, start to lift. Stay here, or you can let that left arm come across. Pressing your arms more out to a T. Full breath in. Release on out. Come back here. Last time, left arm out. Start to lift from the back of the hand, snaking right arm across if you so desire, and pressing your arms out to a T. Full breath in. Release out, untwist. Come all the way upright. Feet hip distance. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Bringing ease into your face. Relaxing your shoulders. One more forward fold. On an exhale, hinging forward. Walking your hands down to your tolerance level. Maybe tucking forehead towards your shins. Walk your hands back upright. Roll yourself up. Take a full breath in. Exhale out. Start to get a little bit more comfortable in your seat. Maybe sliding all the way back so the chair supports you. Maybe taking feet a little bit wider. Allow shoulders to drop down and back. Start to really relax your face and jaw. Close your eyes. Allow chin to drop halfway to your chest. Circling back to just the breath. Inhale and exhale. You might enjoy counting silently to yourself the length of your inhale and exhale. For some, that provides comfort. You might have a mantra or meditation that you personally enjoy, and you are welcome to it. My meditation offering for you this morning, 3 simple lines repeated. You can go at any pace that makes sense with your breath. I am here. I am loved. I am enough. I am here. I am loved. I am enough. And so on and so on. Begin to gently transition out of your mantra. Allow your breath to come to its natural rhythm. You might stay as you are or shift into a different resting position. Maybe turning feet out. Turn palms up. Allow fingers to curl in. Simply allow your breath to breathe itself and be here for a moment of rest. Shavasana. Begin to deepen your breath. Take small movements to hands and feet. Wake up your body a little bit, and if you'd like, you can send arms overhead for one final stretch. Join palms together at heart center. We'll close practice with the sound Om one time. You're welcome to sing along or listen. Release your air. Full breath in. Thumbs to forehead center. With gratitude for this practice. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining in and sharing your wonderful practice. And thank you all so much. I've had such wonderful experience sharing this practice with you. And I wish you all the best. Thanks, everybody.